So let's just dive right in. If you see me glancing up, that's because the Sharks are currently playing right now in Buffalo. This is Tuesday as we're recording, and that game is in the third period. Buffalo is up 5-3, and we're 4 minutes left in the game, but the Sharks are attacking. So it's if you see me jump in excitement, that's because this game is exciting. But earlier this week, we'll talk about some of the other games that happened as we're keeping an eye on the game. They get the win. The Sharks did get the win in Montreal against Montreal at home, 7-5 last Tuesday. You had goals from Colin Graff, Michael Misa, Celebrini, Wenberg, Smith, Sherwood, and Gaudette. Sherwood was your game-winning goal, and that was the game that basically sealed the deal for Sherwood to extend. I think that was kind of the feel good moment for him. Like, we were kind of waiting for him to have that breakthrough moment after trading for him, and that was it, right? And that was Sam's win of the week as well, was the Montreal win. Then you had two overtime losses to follow that up. St. Louis was a 3-2 overtime loss. Celebrini and Sherwood had the goals there. And then on Saturday, the Islanders 2-1 overtime loss. Celebrini had the lone goal there. That was Tyler's win of the week. Unfortunate for both of us. In the standings there, I'm still up 11. Sam has 8, and Tyler, you have 7.
Yes.
Obviously, none of us are taking the Buffalo game because that's happening right now. As I said, they're currently down 5-3. They've emptied the net with about 3 minutes and change left to go in that game. But the rest of the schedule for this week, they're all on the road. They're all out east. They're at Boston on Thursday. They're at Montreal on Saturday, and they're at Ottawa on Sunday.
I feel like Boston's the easy take here, but given how the game shook up against Montreal, I think I'm going to take Montreal just because I'm pretty sure some choice words and some fights were
Yeah,
about to break out last week, and I think
yeah, it turning around, playing them again right away again. That's I could see that having being a fun matchup again. Sam, what do you think?
Uh, Sorry, my computer is on the fritz again because it's a Windows piece of shit. Should have stuck with Apple.
Uh,
Um,
my Windows is doing fine. I don't know.
nah, it's my work computer too.
It's a
At the
poor
office,
craftsman.
dude, this is like a $2,000 fucking ThinkPad, and it's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Um, so thank you, Bill Gates. And then if I try to return it, oh, it's a restocking fee.
yeah.
So it's not happy with my purchase. Bruins, Canadians, or Senators?
Yeah.
I'll go with the Senators just to change
Okay.
it up.
Okay, and you know what? I'll take Boston then. I'll make us all live again. So what happened around during the week for hockey? Uh, the Sharks on Wednesday, I mentioned it earlier. Right after that win against Montreal, they extended Kiefer Sherwood to a 5-year, and then a 5.75 million average annual value deal. If he plays the length of the deal with San Jose, he'll be here through the 2030-2031 season. He currently has a career high of, I think he's up to about 20 goals now at this point. And he, at the time of the deal, he had the second most hits in the league at 238. Obviously, he has more hits than that now at that point. Also on Wednesday, the Sharks traded minor league defenseman Jack Thompson to Vancouver for minor league defenseman Jet Wu. And that's kind of a move to kind of free up a logjam. Jet Wu was the minor league. He was wearing an A on the minor league Abbotsford team, and that team actually won the Calder Cup last year. So he's a pretty well thought of player in their like in their minor league system, but uh but Jack Thompson was just kind of blocked. He wasn't going to be able to get up to the big league fast enough over here, but over in Vancouver, the path is a little bit more clear. So I think that was Mike Grier doing a solid for Jack Thompson there. So a little bit of a bummer for us, but good for him, and he's going to get a shot there. And then Friday morning, the Sharks extended Alex Angelkovic for 2 more years at 3 mil per. Also, Friday morning, Tim Liljegren was traded to Washington for Vegas's 4th round pick. So San Jose had initially picked him up early last season on waivers. So you get a guy off the scrap heap, flip him for a 4th, and he's been a little inconsistent, but overall, you know what? That's not a bad. That's an upgrade as far as I'm concerned. You pick a guy up off the scrap heap, and now you got a lotto ticket. So that's fine. That's good. And overall, like I said, he's been up and down, but he's a puck moving guy, and that kind of happens, especially with puck moving guys who aren't Hall of Fame caliber guys. That I think he did as well as could be expected, and maybe even a little bit better than I could have hoped for, if I'm being completely honest. So thank you for your service. Best of luck in Washington. And they needed to make a move because the trade deadline was Friday, and they made a move. And that and we'll talk about all the moves that were made, but the move in particular that they made that was they traded their defenseman John Carlson to Anaheim. And Anaheim gave up a conditional 2026 or 2027 1st round pick and a 2027 3rd round pick for him. So Anaheim got a lot better on that one. Other moves that were made around the league: Colorado, they reacquired Nazem Kadri, and then Calgary in return got back a 1st round pick in 2028, a 2nd round pick in 2027, and then a couple of other players in the deal as well. Seattle, they get Bobby McMahon, the forward, and then in exchange for a couple of picks, a 4th and a 2nd. Detroit getting defenseman Justin Falk in exchange from St. Louis. St. Louis, they blew it up big time, man. St. Louis gets back a 2026 1st and a 3rd. That was our San Jose's 3rd round pick that they got back, and then a couple of a defenseman and a forward as well. In the minor leagues. And then this one was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Islanders. They get Braden Shen from St. Louis, and St. Louis in return they get back a 1st round pick in 2026, a 3rd round pick, and then a forward and a goalie in the deal as well. So, okay, Minnesota. They get Nick Foligno, the captain from Chicago. Chicago gets future considerations. He's 38. He doesn't have a lot of value. This is a chance to give the guy a shot at a cup.
Sure.
Give a veteran a chance. Move. I respect it. They did it in Division 2, so it was like, okay, cool, whatever. Okay, Buffalo making some moves here. They get Logan Stanley and Luke Shen from Winnipeg, and Winnipeg in return get Isaac Rosen, Jacob Bryson, and a 2027 2nd-round pick and a 2026 4th-round pick. So, Buffalo making a little bit of a play for it.
Yeah, those Luke Shin's gonna be a solid pickup piece for them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna stay for the rest of the season, like going into next season, but I think Buffalo will be smart to try and keep him if they can.
Yeah, Minnesota adding to the forward line. They get Bobby Brink for defenseman David Yurchek. Colorado adding Nicholas Roy, and Toronto getting a 2027 first round pick, which is top 10 protected, and a conditional 2026 fifth round pick. Uh, oh my God. Yeah. Edmonton getting Jason Dickinson and Colton Dodge, and then Chicago getting Andrew. I can't even say that name. That's Andrew Mangiapane. Uh, Manjapani. Yeah, whatever.
Wait till you see the next. I want to see how you say the next one.
I got this one. Actually, I do got this one. This one's easy. Utah getting defenseman Mackenzie Weegar, and then Calgary getting back defenseman Oli Mata, and then prospect Jonathan Castagna, and then 2026 second round picks.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
3 second round picks. Like, I know hockey is kind of like your top echelon is your top 10 players, but that's a lot of picks.
Yeah. Okay. Colorado getting defenseman Brett Kulak, excuse me, and then Pittsburgh getting back Samuel Girard in the 2028 second round pick. And then earlier, the Sharks avoided this one. The Kings getting Artemi Panarin. In exchange, the Rangers get prospect Liam Greentree and a 2026 conditional third round pick.
My favorite thing about this trade though is that he couldn't have his number for the Kings because the number belongs to the mascot.
Yeah. That dude has baggage. It looks like Buffalo got an empty netter, so that game is done. Jack Quinn put in an empty netter. So Sharks lose 6-3 against Buffalo. Unfortunate. That's not going to help. What a steal for the Kings. It's Trash Panda. Hey, it's our buddy Daniel. So Panarin was available because of the baggage that comes along with him. That's why it was a steal. He's a quality player, but the extra off the ice allegations, that come along with him, or why he was a more cost effective player to acquire. That's why he was able to get the headache that comes along with that. Although it's hockey, so that would be it's a little bit, the hockey culture. That's one of the issues that people are trying to fight back against, but hockey is slow to adapt sometimes, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the stuff that at least I'm out in these threats streets fighting against. But so that's nothing we need to super deep dive into at this time, but so just looking ahead again, we got 3 games happening over the next week. Looking at some of these other teams that the Sharks are kind of have around them in the standings. You have Utah, Seattle, the LA Kings, Nashville, and Winnipeg are the teams that are kind of hovering right around them. The Sharks, they lost today. That doesn't help. That's obviously not going to help, especially losing in regulation. It's an East Coast opponent though, and they're on an East Coast swing, so none of these games they're going to not affect the conference standings too much, or the division at all. So that tiebreaker doesn't really come into effect for the Sharks, at least in the immediate future. But Seattle is playing the Predators, so those two teams are going right up against each other. So you just hope that game doesn't go to overtime. Just let that one be in regulation, whatever happens there. The Kings are also on an East Coast swing as well. They're at the Bruins, at the Islanders, at the Devils, at the Rangers this coming week. Utah, they're at the Blackhawks yesterday. Today they're at the Wild. Then they're at home against the Blackhawks, and then hosting the Penguins. Winnipeg, they have the Ducks, Rangers, Avalanche, and Blues. Coming up. This is the Sharks have a tougher upcoming schedule for the rest of the year. They got about 20 games left, and the schedule doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, it's gonna be a race. I don't know. They might leak in. They might. I don't know.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tight.
I did see one kind of fun fact. Over the last 3 years, there was a captain of a team traded to another team, and that team won the Stanley Cup. There were 3 captains traded this year. So Quinn Hughes and Nick Foligno were both traded to the Minnesota Wild, and Braden Shen was traded to the New York Islanders. So the question is the Minnesota Wild or the Islanders going to win the Stanley Cup this year? I think the Minnesota Wild have the better shot at it. That being said, they're sitting in the Central Division, so that's a tough one. If they can break through the Central Division, especially with Colorado, if they get through Colorado, then yeah, they'd be the favorite. But I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm just saying,
I mean, the Lightning.
It looks like we're on a crash course for a 2022 rematch right now. It looks like a Colorado Tampa Bay rematch is what it looks like on paper right now. But of course, that's why they play the games, right? So yeah, fun to see. Also the Kiefer Sherwood does have a full no movement clause for next year, and then they chip away at the number of teams on the no movement clause as the years go on through it. So year 2 has 16 teams, year 3 has 13, year 4 has 10 teams, and then year 5 has 5 teams. So each year he has fewer and fewer teams that he can say no to as it goes on. So